Yo, what's good? It's your boy Flicks back with another live stream. Obviously, if you're new to my channel, get subscribing, smash the likes, I'd appreciate it. So yes, a few little topics to talk about in my stream. Obviously, first things first, losing to Aston Villa in the FA Cup, back to back defeats. I swear this is like the third loss in a row against Aston Villa now. It's honestly, you could not write it. Could not write it. But here we are. Here we are, losing to Aston Villa. And it just gets worse, doesn't it? It just gets worse. But yes, guys, make sure you smash the likes, get subscribing if you're new to my channel, get sharing and all that. So yeah, a few little things I wanna discuss. So yeah, get involved in the chat as well. So where shall I start? Where shall I start? I'm gonna start with obviously losing to Aston Villa. Saturday, totally unacceptable. Bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna get up the stats, etc. from my iPad. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Obviously we lost 2-1. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. I'm going to start with the lineups. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me. So obviously, Frank went with a 4-2-3-1 formation for Coringo, back for Pedro Porro. Danzo coming for Romero, Van der Ven and Davis coming for Jed Spence, who was on the bench. Archie Gray, João Palhinha. Odebert, Simmons in the middle, just behind the striker, Mathis Tell and Richarlison up top. Obviously, the subs were a young kid called Byfield, Draguzin, Kinksky, Mawani, Scarlett, Solanke. We got Solanke back now. Spence, Adugi's another one they had back, and Williams Barnett was on our bench. So that was our bench for Saturday. Now, where do I start? I'm going to start with the first half. The first half was absolutely shockingly shite. Same old, side-to-side football, backwards. You know, there was nothing. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm just going to bring up the stats. Stat-wise, when you look at the stats, it's compared to previous games. By the way, it doesn't look too shabby. Like, we had 13 shots, 5 on target. Okay, Aston Villa had 17; they had 8 on target. But like I said, going back to previous games where we've been lucky to have at least 1 shot on target. You know what I mean? We had 5 against a very, very good Aston Villa side here, 5 on target. But the first half, totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. I'm a bit pissed off by the ref as well. The ref, you know, sort of. I don't know if it was just me, but it felt like in a way the ref was more on Aston Villa's terms. You know what I mean? Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section on that one. Please, you know, fucking Craig Pawson. That guy really pisses me off. Along with obviously many other refs in this day and age. But yeah, the first half, like I said, totally unacceptable. But the second half, the boys come out all fucking guns blazing. The likes of Xavi Simmons, who I thought, you know, he tried. He tried. For me, he was all over the place. He carried the ball far too much for my liking. You know, there was times where he could have passed it. You know, especially when we got deep into the final third, felt he could have passed that ball instead of like taking on another 1 or 2 players. You know, he really tried. He really tried. But obviously, Richarlison went off injured now, and you know, I know we've got Adugi back, we've got Solanke back, but the injury list just seems to fucking top up again. You get 1 or 2 players back, another 1 or 2 injured again. You know, it's just the same merry-go-round as what we had last season with injuries. So, like I said, we got Adugi back, Solanke back, but now obviously Bergville's out, Richarlison's out now, Bentancur's out, Kudus is out until April. You know what I mean? Obviously, Basuma was out on AFCON, and I think Mali are out now, so he should be coming back. But Sar's still out there as well with Senegal. So players missing left, right, and centre. You know what I mean? Kulusevski, Matters. I know they're hopefully, fingers crossed, nearing a return to the squad because we need it. We need it ASAP. But yeah, going back to the second half against Aston Villa in that FA Cup, yeah, a lot better compared to the first. But you know, it just weren't to be. Obviously, Ollie Burt pulled one back, 54th minute, thinking, okay, I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself. You know, we managed to pull one back, but yeah, it just weren't to be, just weren't to be. From what I could see, there was any of you watching. Was you at the game on Saturday? Because from what I was seeing, from what the cameras were showing, there was a lot of fans possibly walking out before half time, or leading up to before half time, I should have said. Um, empty seats as well. It's not a good look. It is not a good look. Not a good look whatsoever. But like I said, leading up to second half, yeah, slightly better compared to the first. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Um, Just gonna have a little browse in the comments quickly. Brian Maguire, big up yourself. The problems in the squad isn't deep enough, and our ownership is holding us back. Do you know? I've been saying this for such a long time now. You know, I know we got Levy back, but it feels, in some ways, it feels like he's still there. It's just there lurking about. You know what I mean? It's obviously, yeah. The Lewis family are there lurking about. Enoch need to be gone. Enoch need to be gone ASAP, along with that Muppet who's the Arsenal reject, the Aston Villa reject, Lang, whatever his freaking name is. He's the other one. Need them gone. The whole shebang gone. Because this can't continue. This cannot continue until Enoch, Lewis family, whatever, sell up, and we get some serious, not just serious owners, but serious owners with passion for the club, and obviously money, because money talks. You know, we need money, and when I say money, we need quality. You know, I really don't know how much I can actually take. I don't know how much you lot can take watching, but this cannot continue. You know, it's again Brian McCoy here. Levy was the only fulfilling instructions from Enoch. Yeah, it's until Enoch Lewis, the whole lot have gone, then we are not going to get out of this fucking merry-go-round. Yeah, okay, yeah, some might say, but yeah, think back to the Pochettino days. Yeah, Levy was there, Enoch, blah 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 blah. You know, yeah, okay, yeah, always guaranteed fourth, at least fourth. You know, we didn't get a trophy, no trophies, no silverware to show for it, but it was always guaranteed that fourth spot. And in some ways, yeah, we I'm gonna actually, I said that wrong. We had a lot of luck on our side. Had a lot of luck. We had some brilliant kids coming from the youth. Ollie Skip at the time, Winks. They had a good couple of seasons, especially Harry Winks. You know what I mean? Harry Kane. We were so lucky we had Harry Kane. You know what I mean? Sonny. The team we had back then compared to what we got now is absolutely shite. It really is. It really. I hate to say it because I hate slagging my Spurs boys off, but it's true. It is true. So, like I said, the only way we are going to get out of this mess is if they sell up, and then we can kick on. You know, it's like it's the fan. When we talk about Thomas Frank, the fans are very divided. It's Frank in, Frank out. If you're asking me, Flicks, what are your thoughts on Thomas Frank? I like him. I'm not going to lie. He's a very, very good manager. But coming from Brentford to Spurs is a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. You know what I mean? And at the same time, it doesn't help with the squad. We all know our squad depth is very, very poor. We need the quality. I find myself repeating myself time and time again in my videos because it's such a merry-go-round of seeing the same things week in, week out, and year in, season, year out, whatever you want to call it. But got a bit of quality there, average. Then you got a bit more quality there. It's not level all through. You know what I mean? It's some might say Brennan Johnson was average. Yeah, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, but he tried. And you've only got to look back to last season, our top scorer last season. And Thomas Frank, for some reason, did not have Brennan Johnson in his plans. I don't know what it was, but he just didn't have him in his plans. And I'm thinking, but right now, we are struggling for goals. Fucking struggling for goals. Yet he shipped Brennan Johnson off. Our top scorer last season, shipped off. But yeah, obviously at Crystal Palace now, and I wish Brennan Johnson all the very best. I really do. I really, really do. But big up you guys in the comments, by the way. I'll get onto you in a minute. But yeah, man, it's such shit times right now, and you know, in this current situation we are in, I would have kept hold of Brennan. I really would have kept hold of Brennan because there's no one up top. It's like when we still had Brennan Johnson, I was calling out for Brennan Johnson to start over Richarlison. Because for me, Richarlison's freaking pony. He really is. He really is. And with January here now, we've only got one player. You know, some Brazilian kid from Santos, I believe. I've heard no more on that. But that's possibly a loan deal for the rest of the season, and we go on from there. But it's and again, from understanding, was he a left back? I'm just gonna let me go through the comments now. Brian Maguire again. I'm at breaking point and thinking of going down, going down to the protest. Yeah, obviously there's a protest organised for the West Ham game. I'll get on to more of that in a minute. Again, bring up Brian Maguire in the comments. Frank didn't get up to much. Helping took the board ages to sack Ange. I was yeah. I'm going to mention now. You mentioned Ange Postecoglou. I was. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm going back to last season now, but obviously finishing fourth from bottom, 17th, 21, 22 league defeats. Yeah, we can all agree, totally unacceptable because it was. But then you got to look at the other side of it. Squad depth, absolutely shit. Injuries, left, right, and centre. In some ways similar to this season. So many injuries. And obviously we was getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the Europa, you know, edging closer to that final. And I see it as Ange put all his eggs in one basket. He focused on that Europa League final. You know, we all knew we was going to win that trophy, guaranteed Champions League football for this season. That's how I see it. And obviously before Ange got the boot, I'm telling myself, okay, we finished fourth from bottom, but we got a trophy. Our first trophy in 17 years. Our first major trophy in 40, 41 years, whatever it was, 40 years, 41, whatever. You know, such a fucking long time. Such a long time. So I'm thinking, okay, there's rumours going around and Angie's going to get the sack. Why not keep him on till at least Christmas time, and then we see where we are from there. If we've started off shit, then okay, yeah, give him the boot. But obviously that wasn't to be. Levy sacked him off, and then weeks later, if that whatever it was, Levy got the sack himself. He's gone. You know, it's like when I think back to it now, it's like, did Levy actually know that he was going? So he thought, fuck it. Let's do one last little thing just to piss certain people off. I'm going to sack Ange and then off I go. But like I said, I would have kept hold of Ange until Christmas time, then see where we are from there. Just for a simple fact of he delivered something that we've been asking for 17 years, silverware. You know what I mean? So, and obviously it's like Frank. You know, he's got nothing to show for it management wise. You know, no disrespect to Brentford. Like I said earlier in my stream, no disrespect to Brentford. But coming from Brentford to Spurs, whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. Nice manager, decent guy. But I just, for me personally, I just think he's out of his depth. I really do. And at the same time, the board ain't helping the situation. The squad depth is total shambolic. And here we are. here we are. But yeah, leading up to the West Ham game coming up in the league this weekend, I believe. There's a protest organised now. Obviously, we've been here before. We got Levy out finally. We need to be all there together because something needs to happen, and we can all hope it's either the board seriously back Frank, seriously give Frank what he needs, or the board sell up, Frank moves on, whatever. We go on from there because this cannot continue. This cannot continue. To think how we were again with the Pochettino days. Always guaranteed fourth, like I said. Champions League football, entertaining, scoring goals. We had one of the top defensive records at the time. Always finished above the Gunners. We were miles ahead of them. But now look at the situation. They fucking leapfrog us again, and we're looking at like mid-table, if we're lucky, mid-table finish if we're lucky. We've gone so far backwards, so far backwards. It's you couldn't write it. Just having another little look at the comments. What we've got here, Darren, big up Darren. I'm not having Frank. I think the second half showed we're a lot better than how Frank has set us up. But yeah, like I said, second half compared to the first, obviously, we was a lot better. But all in all, yeah, shambolic. Especially being at home. We all know our home form this season has been piss poor. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And you know, I felt in that game, I really felt sorry for the likes of João Palhinha. You know, I really hope you get that guy on a permanent. I really do. I really do. I don't want anyone snapping him up because, especially right now, we need someone like João Palhinha in that central mid. You know what I mean? He's an absolute machine. Absolute machine. It's like obviously full time whistle that pissed me off. You know, fucking Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers. I'm sure it's Morgan Rogers. You know, all coming in just to try and piss the boys off. You know what I mean? There's no need for it. No need for it. Big up Brian Maguire again. Frank has only signed 4 players and 2 of them were loan deals. Johnston isn't a winger. He played as a striker at Forest. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm sure he was used more as a striker at Forest. And like I said, I personally feel he would have done a far better job than Richarlison playing up top. Obviously, that's not to be now, and here we are. Another comment here. Tim Vickery said good things about Sousa. That's it. Yeah, Sousa. He's left back, isn't he? I'm sure he's a left back. From Santos. He said he said he's very talented fullback. He's basically got potential. So yeah, but we've been here before, and we've been here before. You know, Spurs have been linked with players that I have never heard before. You know, and we've got them, and they've turned out to be a total shambles. But time will tell, and we will see on that one. We will see. But you know, why are we getting fullbacks? Why are we getting fullbacks? Right now, in this moment in time, we need creative midfielders. I know we got your Madison, Kulusevski, but right now, there is no one for that. Them boys are injured. We need more of that. Strikers. we have no strikers apart from Richarlison, Dane Scarlett, Solanke. But like I said, I hate slagging my boys up, but Richarlison just is not consistent enough. Not consistent enough. Dane Scarlett, bless him, doesn't get a look in. And now we've got Solanke back. I just hope, you know, he can get the goals for us. But at the same time, he needs he needs those assists. He needs those balls to come in to help score those goals. That's what I mean. We need creative midfielders. We need your wingers. We've got no wingers there whatsoever. Obviously, Kudus is out now till April, I believe. So, you know, we need the signings. We need the signings. Fans are not realising that ENIC is the problem, not Daniel Levy problem. Yeah, For me, obviously, at the time when Daniel Levy was there, he was the problem. He was the problem. You know, there were times when he would be at the game, jotting notes down, and that's telling me. I'm going back to the days when we had a squad there. You know, what I mean, he's jotting things down. You know, who can I sell now, sort of thing. Who can I make a bit of money on? You know, it was all about. At the same time, when we was getting players in, it wasn't okay. Yeah, I'm going to correct myself now before I even say it. He used to get players in at the time that were sort of okay. Yeah, he's got potential. He might do a job. You know what I mean? There's no one that actually come in that's fucking quality, can come in straight away, do a job. You know what I mean? You know, it's think back to Moussa Dembele. That guy was an absolute monster in that central mid, absolute monster. But he was never replaced, never replaced, never replaced. It's going back to Levy. He looked at bargains because he was all about paying low wages. He didn't want to pay too much. And you know, I'm sorry, but this is what you got to do now in this day and age. If you want your quality, you got to pay the big bucks. You got to pay the big wages. It's the only way we're going to move forward. You know, all this fucking low wages. Yeah, you're right. He might do a job. Blah 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 blah. Same old, same old, same old. And if we're not very careful, we are going to lose the likes of Mickey van der Ven. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But right now, obviously, Christian Romero is our captain. But right now, Mickey van der Ven, in my opinion, should be the captain. And not only that, we should be building that squad around Mickey van der Ven. Because like I said, if we are not careful, we are going to lose that kid. We are going to lose Van der Ven if we are not very careful. Teams will come calling. They will come calling. You know, obviously it won't be January, but the summer transfer window, you know, they will come calling. They will come calling. We need to be very careful there. Very, very careful. Obviously, other players that rumour has it we're linked with is ex-Chelsea Gallagher. If you can ask me, Flicks, do you really see Gallagher joining Spurs? No, I don't. No, I don't. Good player. You know, someone that he could not only fill a gap, but right now we could do someone else, we could do with his quality. But here we are. It's that big question mark. Are we actually going to get anyone decent through that door before the January transfer window slams shut? Other comments here. Fans are not real. Oh, sorry, I read that one. We are not even mid-table. We are bottom half. Yeah, in this moment in time, yeah, we're bottom half, and you know, the highest right now, the highest here we'd probably finish is mid-table if we're lucky. If we're lucky, you know, obviously before the start of the season, a lot of Tottenham fans, football fans in general, all saying Tottenham, you know, they'd be very lucky to finish 6th, possibly 7th. But right now, the way things are rolling, yeah, we'd be lucky to finish 10th. So yeah, the boys, the whole shebang have got to pull their socks up and really, you know, really get things moving because this cannot continue. Brian Maguire, great show. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Get subscribing, get smashing the likes, get sharing the channel. I appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. Another comment there. He's a left back, maybe because we kept overplaying Porro. Yeah, Porro, man. I feel sorry for Porro. He gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. I really don't know why Porro gets a lot of hate. A very good player. Why did Thomas Frank make Scarlett play on the wings when he come on? I don't remember him actually playing on the wing. I thought he was actually up top, supporting Mawani. But yeah, Now you've mentioned Scarlett, it's just rattled my brains again. Going back to Saturday's game, not just Saturday's game, games before that. Frank, I don't know if it's just me, but Frank seems to leave the subs far too late. Something that Ange Postecoglou used to do last season. You know, I'm calling out for. I'm bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to remember who was on the bench Saturday. Who was on the bench Saturday? Who was on the bench? Obviously, a Doogie, Spence. Yeah, Scarlett, Solanke, Moani coming in the first half. I'm calling out for especially for Solanke to come on very early on in that second half. A Doogie as well. A Doogie, we could have actually used him as a winger with his pace. You know what I mean? Getting those crosses in. You know what I mean? Now, you know, get Solanke on, get him in that box, get your crosses in. You know, hit and hope sort of thing. But you know, here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. I think Enoch are selling up. I think Enoch are selling up. We've had this rumor, especially on the old social medias. We've had this rumor for such a long time now. Enoch, the Lewis family, going to sell up. You know, you got to look at Daniel Levy's situation. Those rumors were swirling around for fucking years, long time. But obviously, all wish come true, and Levy actually went. You know, that was a very, very good day. That was a very, very good day to finally see him finally leave the football club. But it's not just him now. It's the whole lot. The whole board need to be gone. And this is why I hope we get a massive turnout before the West Ham game. A massive turnout. You know, we need our voices need to be heard. Our voices need to be seriously heard. The board need to do something. They can't just carry on sitting back, ignoring us, ignoring the likes of me and you, and just carrying on. And it's just saying it's the same circle time and time and time again. Something needs to happen. We need change. You know what I mean? It's I don't know about you lot, but it's ruining my fucking mental health. Seeing the same thing time and time again, repeating myself time and time again. You know, to think we won our first bit of silverware only about 7 months ago now. We've gone from that to this. It's like we've gone backwards again in some ways. This something, you know, we need change, man. We need change. The new CEO is rubbish. Yeah, yeah. Arsenal reject. Arsenal reject. I can't remember the guy's name. Arsenal reject. But the other Muppet, Aston Villa reject. Lang, is it? You know, he's just as bad there, fucking lurking around like a bad smell. Get rid. Get rid. Get rid. Get rid. You know, this cannot continue. This cannot continue, guys. This cannot continue. But yeah, here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. I'm just who's oh, there's another comment just coming. Sorry guys. Yeah, oh yeah, not Lang, yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same old, same old, same old. And we need change ASAP. We really, really do. So obviously, bear with me guys. Obviously West Ham this weekend. Bear with me guys, I'm just getting the fixtures up. Bear with me one sec. Bear with me. So obviously, yeah, West Ham at the Lane this Saturday. And then we're back in the Champions League against Dortmund at the Lane. Now, obviously, going back to the West Ham game. Protests are scheduled before that game. Like I said, I hope there's a massive turnout because we need it. We need our voices heard. We need change. Now, obviously, going back to the Thomas Frank situation, if we don't get anything from that game, now I'm saying all 3 points. If we draw, if we lose, this surely has to be Frank done. I hate to say it because I like Frank a lot. I think he's a very good manager. But at Tottenham, right now, no. And at the same time, if Frank does go, who are we going to get in? Obviously, Ryan Mason got the boot from West Bromwich Albion. So, you know, I would, you know, something's telling me we'd probably get a Ryan Mason back in, bless him, and that can't happen. That can't happen, you know, because like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, but the board seriously need to back the manager. So yeah, draw or lose for me. That's Frank done. That's Frank done at Tottenham Hotspur. And then, obviously, after that is Dortmund in the Champions League back at the Lane next Tuesday. And then we're away to Burnley. And then back in the Champions League on Wednesday the 28th, away to Frankfurt. And then that's taken us into February, where, boy, oh boy, oh boy, our next 4 games are, yeah. If you don't know, we've got Man City, Man United, Newcastle, and Arsenal all in February. When you think it can't get any worse, here we are, boys and girls. Here we are. So, yeah, there we have it, guys. So, obviously, the Premier League table, we're sitting 14th, played 21, won 7, drawn 6, lost 8 games already. Lost 8 games already. And we look at where the likes of Brentford are. Brentford are 5th, 110, and we're sitting 14th. The fuck's that all about? You could not write it. You could not write it. You could not write it. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. Going back to the comments again. If we play anything like we did against Aston Villa in the second half, I can't see us not winning. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I can't see us winning. I really can't. Yeah. We look so good pressing. Why can't we do that often? I know. Another comment here. Big up THF. Sorry, big up THFC. K. Big up yourselves, guys. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing well. Smash the likes, get subscribing if you're new. I really appreciate it. I swear we are cursed. Yeah, I know. But then we can't be cursed because we won our first bit of silverware in 17 years. You know what I mean? It's been a long time coming. It's been a very, very long time coming, but here we are, guys. Before I do go, because I've got to go very, very shortly, who would you like to see? It's a big if, we all know, but who would you like to see the board and Thomas Frank bring in this transfer window? Let's put that out there before I do actually shoot. Who would you like to see Spurs sign in this January transfer window? Let's see your thoughts, guys. Let's see your thoughts. If you're going to ask me, I'd like to see someone like a. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in a million years. But I'd like to see someone like a Marcus Rashford, Premier League proven, can score goals. You know what I mean? Can play up front, can play in midfield. Another one is an Ivan Toney who played under Thomas Frank, and that's obviously 2 players there. That's definitely not going to play for Spurs. It's wishful thinking. We all know that. Wishful thinking. I'd like to see Wharton. Yeah, Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace. No way is he going to be at Crystal Palace next season. No way. Someone will snap him up in the summer, guaranteed. It's like their centre back Mark Guy. He's another one. Absolute machine for Crystal Palace in that back 4. And when you got to think back to the players they've produced, it's unbelievable. Their recruitment, bit like Bournemouth, their recruitment is absolutely ridiculous. And again, this is where Tottenham are going wrong. Our recruitment, I've said in my previous videos, if you've not checked them out, check out my last couple of videos where I've actually spoke about the recruitment. It's absolutely shite. Absolutely shite. A bit like the medical team in a way. Absolutely shite. More comments coming in. The way we sit up does not help the matter. Yeah, exactly. It's you've only got to think back to the goals we've scored so far this season. We've scored more goals from set pieces than open play. You know what I mean? What's that tell you? It's not good. It's not good, guys. Not good. But yeah. That is enough from me because I do have to shoot. But I big up you guys in the chat. I big up you guys for just watching. I really do. Get subscribing If this is the first time you've come across my channel, get subscribing. I'd appreciate it. Please share. Yeah, smash the likes, guys. Yeah, sorry, yeah, smash the likes, guys. Couldn't get the words out then. Yeah, smash the likes. And you will see me on my next video, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, big up you guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, as always, up the Spurs. Take it easy, guys.